What's up, internet? It's your boy Hot Noodle, and today we're just gonna be discussing a little bit of a movie called "Leave the World Behind" or "Leave It All Behind." How am I doing a video on a movie I don't even remember its title? Anyways, I watched this movie on Netflix just the other day. "Leave It All Behind." What's this movie? I'm gonna do my research right now, dude. I'm gonna do my research right now. It's "Leave the World Behind," isn't it? Yeah. Okay, it's called "Leave the World Behind." So essentially, in this film, I think the ideas and topics that they're talking about in this film are just, and I'm going to speak about this in a manner that makes it so that like we don't ruin the movie for anybody watching this. It's just like an analyzation, but there's gonna be spoilers. Okay, like I don't realistically am keeping up with everybody's names. I know there's Clay, right, the dad. There's Ruth, the daughter. There's George, the dad of Ruth, and then there's the girl who watches Friends and wants to recap on it. But my whole kind of like take on this movie is essentially that like all this stuff that they showed us in the movie, it's coming. All of these ideas and principles and concepts and like the way technology is gonna die out and the way all these things are just gonna go kaputs. It's like it's coming. It's coming really soon. A lot sooner than most people are expecting, and a lot sooner than most people are anticipating. Because the world is moving in that direction. Like they're giving us all this control to technology, and they're giving us all this adaptation to like everything that they're giving us is all becoming super digitalized. Like the idea of people not being connected to the digital world is decreasing more and more. Everyone is becoming more connected. More people are on the internet now than ever before. So this idea that everyone's going to be connected to the internet and then they're going to take the internet down or remove people's access to the internet is essentially telling us like they're foreshadowing, because a lot of this stuff has to do with like the occult and the Kabbalah. Not to make this into some crazy like Akunan, like the whole conspiracy theory thing, but just to like to let you know that like the more you rely on technology, the minute they remove it from you, you're gonna be like essentially you're gonna be useless. You're gonna become a useless individual. So to like evade yourself from becoming somebody who's completely useless, it would be in your best interest to not fully rely on technology that way. It'd be better to just integrate some aspects of your life with technology, but still have aspects of your life that are not connected to technology. Because once the technology fails, you don't want to be completely useless. Like you look something like the vid-19, as they say, the way, oh my god, dude, the way something like that was integrated into our society and was essentially almost ran us all useless because we were so reliant on on technology that like when everything shut down, it was kind of like it was crazy mayhem. So with this movie, like first off, when you're starting off the film, they start off the film of like this family is trying to escape the city and they're going out into this wilderness, a retreat, and then some things start to go wrong. And then when the black family shows up to the house, the mom really doesn't know who she's doing business with. They just rented this house, but she doesn't know who the owner actually physically looks like. And it happens to be this black guy named G.H. Wells, George. So he shows up, and he's a black man. And this white lady is obviously being prejudiced to the T because she does not believe that this black man could own this house. He's a wealthy black person, and she's saying, nah, there's no way. There's no way it's a black guy who owns this massive crib that we just rented. So she's already really hesitant. And then the information that he knows and the people he has, because once you reach a certain level of wealth, you're dealing with more powerful people. And these powerful people, although they don't necessarily spill the beans, they do like to leave clues and give you little pieces of the puzzle. Because with these people, when you're working with people who are in the occult or the ball or people who deal with Baphomet and the devil, you're working with people who essentially they believe in karmic retribution. So they have to tell you what they're going to do before they actually do it. So in a sense, it's like this is what this whole film is. It's like movies like this, they show you what they do, and then when they do it, so you can't be surprised. Like they can't necessarily have any negative karma to them because they already are showing you like, look, this is the evil we're gonna bring into the world. And whether you want to believe that it's real or not, that's up to you. But essentially, it's going to happen and we're going to do it. And then when they do it, you can't necessarily laugh and be like, oh no, like it's just a joke. No, it's real, bro. The way they go about this is real. Like all these electric cars are all going to be on the day, like the internet and all these data lines, and then they're going to shut these electric cars down. Like you need to be prepared for being able to live off the grid for a while at least. So from my own personal experiences, I can say that a lot of my time is spent online. And like I would also like to have some of my time spent not online. So like a lot of things that I'm doing are now being able to make money not online, not always necessarily being to have my social life being online. Some aspects of my social life need to be offline. So like being in the place that I'm at, it's allowed me to be able to slowly remove pieces of myself off the internet. Like there was a big part of me that wanted to be kind of like have this whole influencer thing going, but then you kind of realize that it's like it's a double-edged sword, but it's also like it doesn't portray or fit my image necessarily, you know? Like I don't necessarily want to be like an influencer type person. So I've had to remove a lot of like my own self-worth to the internet and likes and everything, and it's very difficult. But anyway, so and by saying that, it shows you that not being so much on the internet is part of a simpler time. Because when I was growing up, there wasn't internet. Like there wasn't internet until later on. Like and then the internet showed up. Like for the biggest part of my life growing up, there was no internet. Like people didn't spend a lot of time online. You spent a lot of time outside playing with your friends. So like that was like a simpler time. So the whole concept of incorporating the show Friends into the movie, I think has to do with like a simpler time when when people were just a lot happier, when people were not as crazy. A simpler time when people weren't as, I guess I can say, like people were more friendly, you know? So I think nowadays the whole like the American population can be so frantic and like they don't necessarily take the time to get to know each other. It's so the world is just like I think the world is just a more darker, eviler place. Like 100%. Like the world is just in a place that is like it's a lot more demonic, man. Like the hedonism, the devil running the world. It's like I hate to say it, but like the devil's running everything right now, and the way he's doing it is he's keeping everybody so distracted and so numbed, and everyone's on Percocets and all these different kind of drugs, and it's like back in the day it wasn't so crazy like that, you know. But I guess we blame it on ourselves when we're the kids who grew up with the term "take a chill pill," and then now chill pills are everywhere, you know, metaphorically. But yeah, just not to make this whole video too crazy and too occult and too long or anything, but the whole analyzation with this movie is just to let you know that like don't be on the internet so much. Don't be out here on the internet trying to show too much of yourself, giving these companies so much of your personal information, so much of your personal life story, so much of your personal life images, videos. Like you guys are just essentially throwing all this data to them that they can have and have access to, but you don't want them to have access to this much. Too much power corrupts absolutely. So you don't want them to have this much power. You need to have pieces of yourself that are more private, pieces of yourself that are kept personal and are not given to these companies. Because once they have it, they don't necessarily have to give it back to you. If you look at a lot of terms and conditions of these companies, they own this stuff. Once you upload it, once you have it up on there, they own it. So I want to make sure that everybody is at least keeping themselves aware and keeping their eyes open to the media and everything that they're showing you, because on one hand, it's not just entertainment, it's a message. It's a message for the future, and it's a message that you need to be looking out for. All right, guys, hot noodle. I'll catch you guys in the next one.